Welcome back. If this is your first time here on this channel and you experience any kind of issues with playback, please check out the link in the description to my mirrored account on BitChute.com, redpill_McKenzie. Now, in today's video, we're continuing on with the high-level resignations. We're now in week 4+ of March 2018, talking the CEOs, CFOs, COOs, heads of state, police chiefs, you name it. Where'd I get these names from? A website known as resignation.info, maintained by who, of course? Resignation Anon. And despite the meme I just showed you, there are a lot of good people on this list. Not everyone on this list is a bad person. Not everyone's going to be indicted. Who told you that? Check out the link to the indictments on that website. It's going to be in the description. Also, for those of you who've been following for some time, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a couple new features here. But I'm going to talk about specifically reporting resignations. You click on that, you've got your article, provide it, submit it, Resignation Anon will check it out, and before you know it, you could see your notable resignation on the next resignation show. Who knows? It happens every other Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. German time. When's the next one? Well, it's this upcoming February 3rd. Don't worry, it's well before the Super Bowl, okay? So if you want to make sure you mark it in your calendars, go to In Real Life News Channel. That's also going to be in the description, so you can do that and hit their notifications, so that way it'll remind you automatically. You don't even have to think about it. So, with the introduction all knocked out, let's get to the names. Lawyer John Dowd from the White House. The CEO to the Cram Foundation in Australia. Senator Lucia Guzman from the Colorado State Senate, Democrat. Resigned amid a sexual harassment scandal. House Speaker Joe Souki from the Hawaiian House of Representatives, Democrat. Resigned amid sexual harassment claims. We have the President to the State University of New York College and Environmental Science and Forestry in the U.S. We have the CEO and Chairman to High Flux Limited in Singapore, retired. We have the CEO to the NCR Corp in the U.S. We have the Chief, Robert Cross, to Olney Police Department in Texas, was arrested. We have the President to the University of Akron in Ohio, Matthew Wilson. We have the President to Autism Pensacola in Florida, retired. We have the President to American Revolution Museum in Pennsylvania. We have the MP, Member of Parliament, to New Zealand Government, Jonathan Coleman, resigned and took up a new role in the private sector as CEO of Accurity Health Group. We have the Chairman and Deputy Chairman to Telecom Italia in Italy. Pause if you couldn't read that. We also have all of these other board members, which you will most likely need to pause, from the same company. We have the CEO to Crossroads YMCA in Indiana. We have the CEO to Caesarstone Limited in Israel. We have the National Security Advisor, H.R. McMaster, to the White House in the U.S. We have the Director of Financial Crimes Risk Management to Wells Fargo in the U.S., Jim Richards. We also have the Head of Operational Risk and Compliance, Kevin Oden, from Wells Fargo. And the Health of Enterprise Risk, Kev Byers. And the Head of Community Banking Risk, Vic Albright. We also have a CEO and the CFO to Crawshaw Group in the UK, the CFO to CBR Energy in the US, the Chairman to Quorum Health in Tennessee, the Secretary Owen Smith to the Secretary to the Labour Party in the UK, Owen Smith, first announced his retirement and then later he resigned suddenly amid a deepening banking scandal. We have Judge Henry Hank Wilkins IV to Jefferson County in Arkansas. We have reporter Michael Turco from KUSI TV in California, retired. We have Judge Daryl Greenfield in Todd County, Kentucky. We have the President to the Football Association of Malaysia. We have the President to Motorola in the U.S., Imar Dayel. We have the CEO to Sky TV in the U.S., John Fellett, or fillet, I don't know, retire. We have the chairman and all of these board members to Sri Lankan Airlines. And pause if you want to read that. To boot, we have the director to the Sri Lankan Airlines. We also have a judge to the Providence District Court in Rhode Island, William C. Clifton, dead. We have the CEO to the Jewish Agency for Israel, Alan Hoffman. We have the CEO to Lowe's Companies, Inc. in the U.S., Robert Niblock, retired. We have the CEO to Superloop in Australia. We have the CEO to AMP Limited in Australia, Craig Meller. He resigned as first announced his retirement, then he later resigned suddenly amid a deepening banking scandal. This is another one with a banking scandal. We have the dean to the University of South Dakota, Thomas Jew. We have the design director and the style director to Marks and Spencer in the UK. We have the president to Edward Waters College in Florida, Nathaniel Glover. We have the CEO to Coast Hills CU in the US. First announced his retirement, then later he resigned suddenly amid a deepening banking scandal. We have a group executive human resources from the Commonwealth Bank of Australia. We also have the Group Executive Institutional Banking and Markets position from the same company. And let's add the Group Executive Enterprise Services and Chief Information Officer to it as well. We have the CEO to the Wise Group in Sweden. We have the CMO to SeaWorld Entertainment in the US, Denise Gaudreau. We have a board member from the Energy Facilities Siting Board in the US. We have a director to Enofos Holdings Inc. in the US. The CEO to Vion in the Netherlands. The chairman to the Hyundai Motor Group in South Korea, Chung Myung Kyu. We have the CEO to Dental Land Systems in South Africa. The CFO to JA Solar Holdings Company Limited in China, Co-Limited. We have the CEO, Matt Kahn, from Midboss, and also the CEO to Gay Mercs in the US, resigned amid sexual harassment allegations from both companies. We have the CEO to Radio New Zealand, Carol Hirschfeld. We have the affiliate marketing chief from NBC USA, Scott Chastain, resigned amid an internal review into alleged misconduct. Actually fired. We have CEO from Northern Arizona Healthcare in the US. The Assistant Secretary for Administration, John Bardis, from the US Department of Health and Human Services. We have these board members, pause if you like, to Guyana Chronicle in Guyana. We have the Secretary to Prince William, Miguel Head. We have the CEO and President to the Mon Health Medical Center in Virginia, resigned after 20-plus physicians at the institution's flagship hospital signed a letter of no confidence in Mr. Duncan. We have the Veterans Affairs Secretary, David Shulkin, from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. We have the Internal Disputes Panel from the Labour Party in the UK, Christine Shawcroft, resigned over Holocaust hoax post. We have Rabbi Stephen Wernick to the United Synagogue of Conservative Judaism in New York. We have the CEO to the Southern Baptist Convention in the U.S., Frank Page. We have the President to the Greater Beaumont Chamber of Commerce in Texas, Regina Lindsay. The Chief to the Parole Board in the UK, Nick Hardwick. We have the Chairman to the Kentucky Legislative Ethics Commission, a Republican, George Troutman. We have Finance Minister Henrique Mireles from the Brazil government. We have the CFO to the Saga PLC in the UK. We have chairman from the Barrick Gold Corporation in Canada. Monk passed away peacefully in Toronto. He was 90. Forced his resignation. We have head of freight from Uber USA, Lior Ron. We have the VP to Microsoft in the US, Terry Myerson. We have the head to the Office of Cuba Broadcasting in the US, Andre Mendez, resigned amid an internal crisis. We have the chairman and the commissioner to the School Reform Commission in the Philadelphia School Board in Pennsylvania. We have the chairman and the deputy to UKIP, the United Kingdom Independence Party in the UK. You have the CMO to Dell EMC in the US. We have producer Dan Schneider to Nickelodeon in the US. We have the CEO to Sharp Healthcare in the US, Michael Murphy, retired. We have the VP also to Sharp Healthcare, also retired. You have the CEO to Malmberg's Elektriska AB in Sweden. You have all these directors from FS Investment Corporation in the US. You have the VP from Tristar Television in the US, Suzanne Patmore Gibbs, resigned following complications of a surgery that she had from a hernia. My apologies, she died. It was not a resignation. The fire marshal from the Oakland Fire Department in California, Miguel Trujillo. We have the senior cancer researcher from the Ohio State University in the U.S., Ching-Shing Chen, was found to have committed research fraud on at least 14 cancer research projects over the last 17 years, was fired. We have the Interior Minister and the Secret Service Chief from the Kosovo government. Both were fired. We have the President to Botswana, Ian Khama, resigned after a farewell tour. We have the CEO to Express Employment Professionals in the U.S. After a years-long battle between the partners about allegations, Bob Funk diverted $134 million of company funds for personal use. We have the president to Gojibik Community College in Michigan, James Jim Lawrenson. We have the CEO and president to Sparrow Health System in Michigan, retired. You have Judge Hillary Green to Harris County in Texas, resigned due to being accused of sexting in court. We have Senator Nathaniel T. Oakes from the Maryland General Assembly, a Democrat, has pleaded guilty to corruption charges. We have the CEO to the Fair Isaac Corporation in the U.S., the CEO to Lincoln Primary Care Center in West Virginia, the CFO to Hathway in India. We have these directors, if you want to pause, to Taharora Iron Sand Mine in New Zealand. You have the CEO and president and director to RT Minerals Corporation in Canada. His brother is the mayor of Kirkland Lake, and it was a bit of a strange death with his brother. That was the notes on that one. We have these two directors from Forterra Inc. in the U.S. Well, that's it we have for this week. Preparing up for April. Keep following me every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If you haven't subscribed to the In Real Life News to check out the next Resignations show, I suggest you do if you want to see the most up-to-date 2 recent weeks. It's way more recent than these. And as always, if you like, please share, because sharing's caring. And if you haven't already to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe and the bell for notifications so you have no chance for YouTube to decide what kind of my content you get to see. I hope you liked it. God bless all of you. This is Red Pill McKenzie.